I think Hallie really wanted to set herself apart from all of DDG's previous girlfriends. She wanted to prove that she was a ride or die. And if you know DDG, you know that this man does not shut up about wanting to be a daddy.
Just tell him how you pregnant.
Stop saying that. I'm not pregnant, so stop saying that for real.
It was like that, like it was, the baby was formed and everything, then it'd be like, damn, whew, it was just a positive test, you know? And then we come to find out it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't happen, you know? So it wasn't like she was like showing or nothing like that, kicking and all that, and then it happened. Because I would definitely not put that in a song. And I feel like that's why she hasn't addressed it either. I don't feel like it's as deep as it sounds, just because it was so early in the stages. But the test did come back positive, and I was supposed to be a daddy. And I was happy, I'm not gonna lie, I was very, very excited.
Oh, he got a kid.
He did. Congratulations to them. And yeah, so
how does
anyway,
that make you feel?
I love children, and he has been wanting a child, so I think that's lovely for them.
I also think that as much as Hallie looked down on both the women DDG had previously dated and his women friends, that she was also incredibly insecure about how beautiful his women friends and his exes were. I believe that after Hallie had their baby, she started to feel self-conscious about her body. There is a really sad irony when you realize that Hallie had her baby to prove her loyalty, which resulted in her body permanently changing. And as she's struggling with postpartum and her self-confidence, DDG is apparently flying to Mexico with Lala, another beautiful woman that Hallie herself simultaneously looked down on but also felt intimidated by. Because Lala is a very attractive woman. She also has a "I'ma steal your man's" reputation. Now, I personally don't believe anyone can steal your man. That man was not stolen, that man walked away off of his own accord. But like I said, Lala has a "I'ma steal your man's" reputation. Anyway, with Hallie being postpartum and feeling less confident about her new mom bod, which she got after proving her loyalty to DDG, and DDG basically responding to that loyalty by slowly distancing himself from Hallie, because again, all he cared about was finding a woman to have his child. These messages, to me, make absolute perfect sense. Again, I am viewing these messages through a BPD lens and assuming that Hallie has BPD and DDG was in fact her quote favorite person. Hallie wanted to prove her unwavering loyalty, and she expected that having his baby would bring them closer together. Unfortunately, having the baby resulted in this man distancing himself and flying out to Mexico to be surrounded by a beautiful woman. When people who have BPD are hurt by their quote favorite person, they're not able to regulate their emotions. They can easily go ballistic and say very alarming things. Also, this man was already very toxic. Like, we know this man probably cheated. I don't know if he cheated on her with Lala, but what I do know is that DDG has proven time after time that he has wandering penis syndrome, just like his daddy, Daryl Sr.
First, I was begging for him back, but then I was like, why am I begging for you? Like,
I've been single like a year max.
really?
You're a relationship guy.
Yeah.
I feel like being in a relationship slows you down.
No, I do for sure. She cheated on me.
What?
On a break. On a break.
How long was the break?
Nah, that's cheating.
Like a month, 2 months.
That's cheating. I'm not
But
gonna.
it was just the dude it was with that fucked me up.
Yeah, that hurt you more.
I never got over it. We got back together. And then I just started cheating on her. Because I couldn't get over it. I couldn't get over it. I'm like, I listened to this nigga music. I couldn't get over it. I heard her listening to this girl's song. So I started messing with the girl's song she was listening to.
Toxic. Ruby is a very beautiful and attractive woman, and so is Kennedy. Both of them are very attractive. And so he doesn't know how to deal with women who are attractive. He's thinking with that kind of mindset that he has, because he knows if he was a bad beat, that he'd probably be sleeping around with a lot of men. So he's thinking that women will do the same. Our sis Kennedy said that whenever they would get into their arguments, he would literally text another girl, not even a second later, y'all. Not even a second later. She said it was like clockwork. They would argue and he would already be in somebody else's DMs. Again, he's a creature of habit. He keeps the same patterns. So now with Hallie, he did the exact same thing. Ruby had the receipts though, and he wasn't able to dispute this. So let's read through this. He messaged her and asked her, "You still in LA?" And she said, "Yeah." Then he wrote WYO and she said, "Getting ready. How about you? HBU." And then she asked him, "You hitting me the day y'all argue is so you LOL." And then he wrote back and said, "LOL, you right. Let me go heal first."
However, here are some things that I could and would not link to Hallie possibly having borderline personality disorder. When she put a small business, a nail salon, on blast for not allowing her sister to take someone else's given slot time, after her sister arrived late, which led to DDG acting a fool and stating that the nail salon was racist and sending his army of stans to leave one-star reviews, which led to Hallie minimizing the very large negative impact both of them had on that small business. DDG wanted to return a $6,000 jacket, and he was refused because the jacket smelled of cologne and smoke, and because that commission-based, I repeat, commission-based sales clerk refused to accept his return and issue him a refund for a $6,000 jacket that smelled of cologne and smoke, Hallie decided to go full Karen on her and accuse her of being rude and nosy. And then DDG went ultra Karen and called her a racist and decided to post information, which led to that sales clerk being doxxed and harassed at her place of work by both of their fans and army of stans. Hallie made sure to put in the court documents that DDG uses his fans to bully and harass her. And that's a little funny because when they were together, Hallie had no problem with DDG using his fans and army of stans to bully and harass other people.
He's not able to talk about the situation. She put a gag order on his behind. And she even said that he was the one who was sending his followers to go antagonize her and abuse her. Doesn't that sound familiar? Oh, so now it's okay when it's you. But remember, when he was doing it to the other people, you was sitting here, right, with him.
People were either shocked by the way DDG treated Hallie or they expected him to treat Hallie differently, despite the fact that his MO when it comes to romantic relationships is to be very toxic. Hallie's older sister Sky had this to say when DDG was misbehaving on Twitter while The Little Mermaid was weeks away from being released.
While Sis was getting ready for the Little Mermaid press tour, DDG and Hallie had kind of a situation happen between them where they unfollowed each other. This was around February of 2023. Once he deleted all of Hallie's pictures off of his Instagram, people started to speculate that they broke up. He then tweeted, because y'all know he likes to vent to social media, "All these girls are the same, crying emoji, ain't no way."
Go on YouTube first thing in the morning and I see my sister on the blogs and it's over some dude. Daryl, DDG, like, bro, what's wrong with you? Hallie's not like the ones that you've been with. You will not treat her the way that you've treated these others. I don't give a freak if y'all had issues going on. That's what you won't do. Please understand that. Like, you're not going to do her the way that you did to everybody else. You're not going to come to social media and try to put her on blast and insinuate or put out something to make it seem like she was doing something that she wasn't doing. You need to pipe down and get yourself together. If y'all broke up, then you need to just unfollow and just keep it pushing.
Hallie was another person who I think also expected DDG to treat her differently. And I say this because Hallie has made some comments suggesting that she puts herself on a pedestal when comparing herself to DDG's exes and the women he surrounds himself with. She gave off a lot of "I'm better than the other girls" vibes in the private messages. And in her song titled "Because I Love You," Hallie says,
"You ain't used to girls that can make it high fashion, effing with a 10, amen." So basically, the song is calling the other girls he dealt with thoughts and lower value. Pretty much.
When Ruby Rose exposed DDG for the trifling man he is, instead of Hallie quietly walking away after being publicly embarrassed, she decided to stand by her mans.
And he said he rebukes her in the name of the Lord. So now Hallie tweeted, "The devil is working, Lord. LOL, please don't feed into the lies, especially from a third party. Stay blessed, everyone." That was her response, y'all. Then he decided to respond to her tweet because now he got his validation. Oh my God, my girl is a ride or die. And he said, "Can y'all let my meat go now? Ruby is a weirdo. She been hating on my relationship for years." Then he said, "She's weird and been trying to get back with me ever since I moved on. Hence, she ain't got another N-word since." And Ruby decided to respond, "You call me every time you see me with a new N-word talking shit about them. I'm single because I don't play that shit. You know that. That's why you went to the calm girl who will put up with it."
Still wanted to give him a try. Don't be embarrassing. The devil is who you're laying your head next to, baby.
So Hallie thinks she's better than Ruby. So now after all this happened, they got back together, y'all.
Yeah, the last example was just pure foolishness. Pure my man energy. And unsurprisingly, in the court documents titled Declaration of Halle Bailey, Hallie says that DDG would call her evil. And I'm not surprised by that because, I mean, if he called Ruby evil, I don't know what else she was expecting from this man. Like, what's that thing that Sis's grandma said?
They think you stupid.
Y'all are not slick with the different ways that some of you have concocted in your minds that you'll be able to carve out good boyfriend rock material from a shitty ass mountain of rubble. Because some of you are literally out here walking straight into foolishness, expecting that the same thing isn't gonna happen to you. Whether you have the tightest and the wettest kitty cat, whether your body is naturally tea, whether your body is tea because you worked hard enough to pay for it, whether you are a church girl, whether you look down on a church girl, whether you describe yourself as a very evolved woman who tolerates cheating, whether you are a submissive woman, oh, he probably did his ex like that because she was on some shit. She probably talked too much. Well, I'm so submissive, I actually like to put a 200-word limit on how much I talk every day. I'm so submissive that I actually prefer not to talk. I'm so submissive, I want you to talk for me. Whatever form or shape or size your misogyny exists in, it will never be protection against a toxic ass man. If he was toxic with his ex, if he put his ex through hell, he has similar plans for you. Now, on this channel, we stand for women's rights and wrongs to do whatever they want to do that's legal. But, just so you know, there's nothing funnier than the new chick trying to tell the old chick about the same man.